All right, my beautiful and fiery Aries souls, gather close. Welcome back to Astrology Unlocked, where we are about to journey into the very heart of the cosmos, into the subtle energies that shape your magnificent reality. Are you ready to hear something that your warrior's spirit has been sensing for a long, long time? There is a shadow that has crept too close to your brilliant flame. An energy you may have dismissed as harmless, but in truth, it has been watching you, studying you, and subtly dimming your light every single day. No, you are not being paranoid. You are not imagining things. That quiet unease you feel, that sense that your power is being drained, isn't just in your mind. It is a profound shift in the energetic field that surrounds your very being. And today, we are going to shine a brilliant light upon it. Now, when I speak of a neighbor, I want you to understand, we are not just talking about a person who lives next door. This is a powerful metaphor, a cosmic symbol for a silent and insidious energy that has gotten far too close, an influence you have overlooked in your courageous and forward-moving life. You may believe this presence is unrelated to the challenges you're facing, but I am here to tell you that its energy is directly impacting your fourth chakra, the sacred heart center of trust, love, and self-worth. If you have ever encountered someone who, for no discernible reason, made your vibrant spirit shrink and your fiery heart feel cold, then stay with me. Because if this is already resonating deep within your soul, do me a favor right now. Smash that like button so this message can reach every Aries who needs to hear it. And if you haven't already, press that subscribe button to become a part of our Astrology Unlocked community. We are on this journey together. And in the comments below, let me know you're ready to receive by typing, "I am reclaiming my fire." By the end of this journey together, you will understand how to reclaim the wholeness of your energetic space, that magnificent sovereignty you've been missing for so long. Now, let us begin, shall we? Let us step into the first part of this revelation, where you will finally see, with perfect clarity, what your intuition has been whispering to you all along. Can you feel it, dear Aries? That subtle shift in the air, a touch, a glance, an energy you can't quite name, but your body, your warrior's vessel, reacts long before your brilliant mind can even process it. It isn't fear in its loudest, most obvious form. Oh no, that you could face head-on. This is a quiet vigilance, as light as a whisper, but it's enough to send a shiver of warning down your spine. There is someone near you, so very near that you've told yourself, "I have nothing to fear, I am strong." You've offered a genuine smile when they passed. You've nodded politely, believing with your whole heart that your innate goodness and strength are a shield against all harm. But have you ever considered, my beautiful Aries, that your light is so intensely bright that it makes others feel their own smallness? And sometimes, rather than finding their own light, they seek to dim yours just to feel a moment of ease. They don't need to act like an open enemy. You would spot that a mile away and be ready for the challenge. Instead, they only have to be there, quiet, watching, and slowly, insidiously draining your life force. It's like a vine wrapping gently around a mighty oak tree, not tight enough to sound the alarm, but just enough so that after every single encounter, you feel a little less yourself, a little more tired, a little less certain of your own magnificent path. You, a child of Mars, may have once believed that only direct actions can cause harm. But you, more than anyone, are a being of pure energy, and you know the opposite is true. You don't need harsh words or cruel actions to feel wounded. All it takes is one dishonest gaze, one silence filled with unspoken envy, and your fiery heart can ache quietly for weeks. I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not imagining things. You are not too much or overly suspicious. You are a warrior of intuition. You are attuned. You carry the soul of a supernova, where even the smallest energetic shift can signal a coming storm. There is someone, perhaps a colleague, a so-called friend, a familiar face, who is closer than you realize, and they didn't approach you with a heart full of love. They came wrapped in a disguise, a cloak of curiosity, a hunger to know your life, your dreams, your passions, not because they genuinely care, but because they cannot bear that you possess a fire they can never replicate for themselves. Think about it. Have you noticed how every time you are about to take a bold leap forward to launch that brilliant project, to claim your victory, they suddenly appear? And in that moment, the very air changes. You feel that wave of exhaustion, that fog of confusion. Your certainty wavers, as if a piece of your very spirit was gently plucked away. The Buddha once taught that the mind is the deepest realm, and that not all destruction comes from overt action. Some souls conquer simply by being present. This is a profound truth. We believe we are surrounded by those who wish us well. But Aries, not every gentle face carries a pure heart. Some draw near you like moths to a flame, but they are not there to celebrate your light. They are searching for cracks in your armor, for ways to siphon your warmth, not to walk beside you in glory, but to subtly control the very fire that defines you. Your soul has been sending you signals, my friend. Do you remember the time you stood near them and your heart began to race, not with excitement, but with a primal urge to flee? And the moment you shared a personal victory and immediately felt a sense of regret, as if you had betrayed yourself. The time they said, "I am so happy for you," but their eyes remained cold and empty. All of those moments were cosmic alarm bells, your soul begging you to turn your attention inward. You may have dismissed it, scolding yourself for being suspicious. But the truth is, you weren't being suspicious. You were being incredibly kind, and your kindness made you ignore the very instincts that were designed to protect you. You know it, don't you? You know it not through spoken words or clear evidence, but through a sudden chill in the air the moment they enter your space. You know it not through their actions, but through a strange, discordant frequency that makes your body instinctively want to close itself off to protect its core. You know it, and yet you still smile, you still nod, you still engage as if you didn't hear your soul whisper, "Be careful, warrior." My dear Aries, you have spent so much of your life courageously fighting the battles of the world, but in doing so, you have sometimes chosen politeness over protecting your own peace. You chose a gentle smile over asking the direct questions your spirit was screaming to ask. You chose kindness even when your gut, your infallible warrior's intuition, was telling you that something was profoundly wrong. And that is what makes your heart so beautiful. But it is also what has caused you this hidden pain. Because an Aries doesn't need a detective to uncover the truth. You don't need a signed confession to know what you have been feeling all along. You feel the subtle shift in their gaze. You feel your own inner light dimming the second they enter a room. You've even caught yourself, haven't you? Changing your tone, softening your powerful words, shrinking your magnificent presence just so they wouldn't feel uncomfortable or threatened by your natural radiance. You did it unconsciously, but your soul was taking notes. You are not weak. In fact, you are so incredibly strong that you have allowed your own flame to burn a little lower so that others wouldn't feel blinded by your light. But here is a cosmic truth for you today. Some people do not want to grow into their own light. They simply want to stand near your fire to absorb the warmth they cannot generate themselves. And hear me now, my love, your light does not need to be dimmed for anyone. True, authentic light doesn't just illuminate, it reveals. It exposes the intentions that hide in the shadows. It's not that you didn't have enough proof to act, it's that you hadn't yet given yourself permission to trust your inner warrior. It wasn't a lack of reason, but an abundance of kindness that made you reluctant to believe someone would want to harm you without a clear cause. But sometimes, Aries, that very code of honor you live by becomes the wall that prevents you from seeing the truth. Sometimes what we call being nice is actually a way we delay our own protection and give power to those who have not earned it. So I ask you, take a deep breath. Recall the last time you were near this energy and your intuition spoke. Your body tensed, your heart skipped a beat. You turned your eyes away, almost afraid that what you were sensing was real. And yet, you kept smiling. If the space between you and them could speak, how many times would it tell the story of you pretending everything was fine? How many times did you hear that internal alarm but chose silence? How many times did you place their emotional comfort above your own sacred peace? No one else saw it, but the universe did. Your soul did. And most importantly, you did. If your heart holds even one of those moments, I want you to acknowledge it now. Not to relive the pain, but to whisper gently to yourself, I was never blind. I was simply a warrior with a noble heart who chose to see the best in others. Acknowledge that your intuition was right all along. And from this day forward, you no longer need to apologize for feeling what others could not see, because the most dangerous energy isn't an outright attack. It's the subtle poison that makes you doubt your own magnificent senses. There are people who once called you their rock, their inspiration, their light. They praised your courage, your passion, your unstoppable drive. They may have leaned on you, telling you that your strength gave them safety, making you believe that you were an irreplaceable pillar in their life. And your generous Aries heart, so full of life and loyalty, embraced that role. But then, one day, something shifted. You started saying no. You set a boundary. You began to focus your incredible energy on your own path, your own dreams. And suddenly, you saw everything change. They weren't so complimentary anymore. They didn't celebrate your independence. In fact, they grew distant, silent, perhaps even implying that you were the one at fault for no longer being the person they needed you to be. Aries, there is a kind of manipulation that is so sophisticated, it is nearly impossible to detect. It isn't cold or cruel. It doesn't scream or control. Instead, it binds you with tenderness. It makes you lose yourself, piece by piece, softly, smoothly, like being wrapped in a velvet chain. It's a cage where you must always be the strong one, the leader, the provider, for the sake of the connection. They don't control you by demanding. They control you by needing you. They say things drenched in emotion like, without your strength, I don't know what I'd do, or you're the only one who truly gets me. And it sounds sincere, doesn't it? But after hearing those words, how many times did you push past your own exhaustion just so they wouldn't be disappointed? How many times did you put your own glorious ambitions on the back burner to help them with theirs? You thought it was love, loyalty, a sacred bond. But the truth is, You were being imprisoned in a role. You felt worthy as long as you were leading the charge for them, as long as you didn't change, as long as you didn't outshine them. You were once a brilliant sun, but they only wanted you to shine on their world, on their schedule. My dear Aries, you are the one who sees potential in everyone. You are a natural leader who inspires others to be brave. You saw their wounds, their needs, and you stayed. You gave from your boundless well of energy. But true love, true connection, is not a place where you must trade your own essence. A true ally does not require you to shrink so they won't feel threatened. Love should never, ever make you afraid to be your most powerful, authentic self. If someone only celebrates you when you are serving their purpose, they do not love you. They love the version of you that is useful to them. How many times have you silenced your inner voice to maintain a connection that, deep down, you knew was draining your life force? You do not have to prove your love by enduring energetic depletion. If you're near someone and you cannot breathe freely, if you feel you have to constantly be on, that is not a connection. That is an energetic transaction. And you do not need to keep paying for it with your precious soul. Place your hand over your heart right now and ask yourself, who did I once champion? But now I feel exhausted in their presence? The answer will come, swift and clear, because your warrior's soul has known it for a very long time. It's just that today, you are finally ready to listen. As a soul enters a period of profound transformation, the universe doesn't need you to go out and fight a battle. It simply lets everything that no longer resonates with your higher frequency fade away on its own. There are no arguments needed, no anger required. The light you are becoming simply no longer offers shelter to what is false. The truth doesn't need to shout to be known, Aries. It only needs the right moment, a single instant where you no longer feel the need to pretend, and the entire curtain of illusion drops. For so long, you may have waited for a clearer sign, a confession for them to change. You stood guard at the gate of hope, even when your gut knew that what you were waiting for was simply a repetition of the same draining pattern. And then one day, with no drama, you simply looked and you saw. You saw that they couldn't meet your gaze anymore because they knew you had finally seen everything. You used to think you needed concrete proof to walk away, but the universe doesn't always send proof. It sends clarity, an undeniable energy, a moment when your soul whispers, "This is enough." You once chose silence not because you were blind, but because you believed, if I am strong enough, loving enough, they will change. You compromised, you overextended, you told yourself you were overthinking things, all to protect a connection. But the miracle is this: when you stop trying to hold it all together, the truth arrives on its own. The one you trusted reveals their true face, not because you forced it, but because your energetic frequency no longer matches their mask. You step forward as someone who no longer needs to be vindicated, who no longer needs to prove anything, because the brilliant, unwavering light within you is the only answer required. They are not afraid of your anger, Aries. They are terrified of your clarity. They are afraid that you no longer need their validation to feel worthy. They didn't need you to be joyful. They needed you to be available. They didn't need you to be happy. They needed you to be dependent. But your magnificent soul was not born to be a battery for others. You were sent to this earth to be a pioneer, a leader, a beacon of what is possible. And today, you turn that light on for you. You are no longer waiting for an apology. You are no longer chasing fairness. You simply walk forward with the powerful posture of a soul who knows its own infinite worth. And if you feel a sense of emptiness now, know that this is not loss. This is sacred space, cleared and consecrated, where the universe can finally begin to pour its true blessings into your life. No one truly left you. They simply could not remain in the radiant light you have just reclaimed. This was never a story about them, my beautiful Aries. It was never about their secrets or their betrayal. This entire journey was about you, about the magnificent fire you have kept banked for years, about the courageous heart that inspired others while quietly feeling drained, and about the inner warrior's voice that was ignored but never, ever left you. After all of it, the only one who stayed, the only one who never truly left, was your own magnificent soul, and the only one who can truly heal and lead you forward is also you. So I want you to write this down in the comments to seal the healing energy of this journey. I am ready to live in my truth. Just one line is enough. As you write it, you will realize this story is about the light you are now reclaiming, the destiny you are rewriting with the very same hands that once felt tied. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for walking this path. And from the very depths of my heart, may you be protected, guided, and fully, brilliantly alive in your truest soul from this day and forevermore.